Hey everyone, this is Tom from St. Ambrose, representing our faith formation, our adult faith formation team. And I just wanted to tell you about the session we had this last Sunday. We've been talking about the Eucharist, and we've been talking about it from a lot of different perspectives. This particular Sunday, this last Sunday, we talked about the Eucharist really on one level as a meal. What does it mean that Jesus shared a meal, this final meal with his friends, and what are the dynamics and the dimensions of that meal? But we wanted to go a little bit further. On one level, we wanted to talk a little bit about the significance of Jesus's final meal being a Passover meal. Why was the Passover important? The symbolism, the story of the Passover. How does that enhance our understanding of what Jesus did at his Last Supper? And we also wanted to look at it in terms of not just that, but looking at the words that Jesus speaks at the Last Supper. He talks about this as being that he presents his blood of the new and eternal covenant. He uses this very loaded word in the Bible, this idea of covenant, and how this meal, which again is what seems like a simple meal amongst friends, is in fact a way that God establishes a covenant or relationship, a lifelong relationship with us and with all people. And he binds himself to us and we to him. Lastly, we also talked a little bit about the Eucharist as a sacrifice. Like, what does it mean that we're using language that is very much in line with Jewish thought on sacrifice and what a sacrifice is meant to do? We look at what Jesus presents in the Eucharist as being symbols of his crucified body and his shed blood that is resurrected, and not only as being a symbol of it, but also being a participation in it. It's actually made present. Now, this might all sound like very heady stuff, but it really isn't. And I would encourage you to follow the links and to check out the teaching we did this last Sunday. To just, as best you can, try to open your mind, open your heart to understanding what this meal is, because as it says in the Catechism, it says that the Eucharist is the source and the summit of the Catholic faith, that everything we do heads towards the Eucharist. Everything we are comes from the Eucharist. It's impossible to think of our identity as Catholic Christians and not have the Eucharist at the core of it. What can we do to understand, again, what does it mean that it's a Last Supper? What does it mean that it's, the Passover meal? What does it mean that it celebrates a covenant? What does it mean that it's sacrificial? We hope that in opening our hearts and minds to this, we can come to a deeper appreciation, so that when we go to Mass on Sunday, we feel that we're a part of something beautiful and bigger. Come join us this next Sunday. We're continuing our discussion on the Eucharist, and we'll be talking a bit about how the Eucharist changes us and how in turn it can change the world. We hope you check it out, 9:50 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. Sunday morning in our chapel. We hope to see you there. Thank you.